What's up, everybody? It's Steph Michael back with another video. This video we're gonna be discussing a really good topic, and that topic is the ultimate fulfillment of our soul and the ultimate fulfillment of love that we can attain in this life experience. I know many of us can probably relate to, from the time that we were younger, it started off with as a crush and, childhood crushes and Disney movies where we see, princes meeting, princesses being rescued by princes, kings and queens. From the time that we have been born, coming to this world, and we're beginning to watch TV and hear nursery rhymes and stories and, just whatever, we're kind of programmed to see, believe, and associate the ultimate form of happiness or fulfillment is as one day coming to meet somebody who can just be your total heaven on earth, like your other half, your spiritual twin, the love of your life, your Prince Charming, your queen, you know what I'm saying? So from the time that we were programmed to this world, we've been, kind of force fed all of these ideas of what fulfillment actually is in life and what, the ultimate form of love actually is. And we've been taught that it's a fairy tale, it's a romance story. I have made this video to challenge, that programming that we have received, those ideals, those thoughts. The reason I am challenging that is because, if we look around the world, what do we see? There's a lot of good in the world. There's a lot of bad in the world. But a general consensus, if we look around the world, what do we see? We generally see people trying to chase a ultimate manifestation of a good reality. Like everybody's working towards, I guess you could pretty much say that common goals. If we're using society as the standard, meaning, society which includes the economy, which includes the societal pressures to meet socioeconomic norms, to, kind of fall in within, the same box, the boxes that kind of decide if someone is rich, poor, someone is single, if someone's lonely. I'm same thing, but if someone's lonely, having a significant other, starting that beautiful family, maybe one day being able to retire early, having a business. We see everybody kind of running the same rat race. And if, we kind of look inside of the world, we see a lot of drama, crazy stuff going on in politics, a lot of wars, a lot of hatred, prejudice, greed, anything, we can pretty much see that there are some negative connotations to this societal world that we live in today. Not to get too far off topic, but okay, so we look around the world, we pretty much see like a theatrical performance of, good and bad stuff. So what exactly, like what truly is ultimate fulfillment and what truly is ultimate love? My opinion on this topic is one that kind of goes against what the common world eye view is, because I was once a person, just to give a little background on me, I didn't have like a perfect family household childhood. And, I went, my family had its own struggles. And I kind of grown up, even from the small age of a kid, kind of looking for a source of strong affection and love and friendship and companionship. And like for most of my life, from my childhood years to my teen years, that was like my highest aspiration. Like along with knowing that I wanted to do something great in the world someday, pertaining to my gifts or pertaining to helping others, my highest aspiration was coming across a perfect love that would finally make, I guess, life a more enhanced experience. And where we all come from in that area or regard differs based on our childhood and what our life experience has been. But I know that for me, that was something that was always so important to me. But over the years, as I've grown and, had more life experiences and kind of can now see my past in a different point of view and perspective, what I've learned is that, love in the facet of, we can't be happy or, life is incomplete without a significant other. That whole world perspective is overrated. And I say this because now I'm not putting a bad assessment on that perspective. But I'm saying it's overrated because, we look even around the USA, 50% of marriages are ended in divorce. We kind of, if just talk about, I know we've all been in relationships before. It's like, it starts off so wonderful and then it can very quickly or gradually turn into something that's very unpleasant or toxic. So to me, that reveals that, love, the ultimate form of love in our lives, it has a higher calling than just relationships with other people. And that even goes to our family. And the reason I say that is because, even though we come into this world having people already a part of our lives, related by blood, family, and even though we go through this life experience and we come across many people who, become very close to us, friendships, mentors, anything, it's like there's only so much that our care for another person can influence their lives, because with all of us having to walk our individual journeys, our individual pathways in life, and finding our own way to peace and fulfillment and completion, our emotion and feeling of love towards someone else only goes so far. Because even if we can mean them, even if it's a situation where there's somebody in our life and maybe they are not making the healthiest decisions for themselves, and we truly care about them and we really want them to do good, there's only so much that our love and feelings for them will actually have an impact, because our impact, it stops at where that person's individual responsibility for their own life and own existence begins. So our substance of love, or what we feel toward them and how we value them and care about them, it really stops at their will to give in or to listen or to resonate with the substance that we feel for them. So let's say there's a person in your life and they're not making the best decisions for themselves or the people around them, and some things that they can do that would really help them. So let's say, okay, you go and you present things to them that can help them, but they're like, I hear you, but I want to do me. Or, yeah, I can see how that would be beneficial, but, my current life circumstances and the people in my life, it's just too tempting that I don't know, like I'm enjoying myself, I'm having fun. Like I don't see myself stopping my destructive mindsets or habits anytime soon. So it's like, at that point, it's like, what can you do? There's nothing that you can do. And let's say if you dedicate your life to being in a relationship with somebody else and you're faithful to them and loyal to them. However, your faithfulness and loyalty is not enough to keep them being faithful and loyal to you. You can do everything in the world for this person. You can value them more than anything else that you ever value in your life or will value. But if they go out and cheat on you, then what does their love mean at that point? So I don't seek to diminish the role that relationship plays in our lives, because relationships play a very important part in our lives and, our purpose for being on earth. And, so But what I am saying that is greater than the role that love plays in our relationships with other people. It plays a much greater and higher role in our relationship with ourselves. That's very important because at the end of the day, you know, for us to be able to say that, we are truly fulfilled, it means that we are it means that we are sufficient within ourselves. So for us to say that we are whole, that we are stable, that we are kind of like complete on our own, it means that we must be self-fulfilled before we look to outside sources for the fulfillment. Because if we are truly self-sustained, like if our happiness is truly self-sustained, then nobody is able to take that happiness away from us. If our joy is truly self-sustained, then nobody is able to steal our joy. If our peace of mind, if our confidence, our self-esteem, surety of our future, if it is truly self-sustained and then we're not looking for outside fulfillment and outside completion, then there is nothing or no one in the world who can rob us of these virtues. However, if we are not first self-fulfilled and self-sustained in our happiness and our joy and our peace and our surety of life and our future, then what that looks like is us needing outside validation to know our worth, importance, and value in life. And also what that looks like is us always seeking to fill these voids within ourselves with other people. And we always, and that means that without being in a relationship with somebody, we feel incomplete or whole. Without having somebody in our life making us happy or making us joyful or, inspiring us, we feel uninspired, we feel miserable, we feel lonely, we feel like life is not worth living. And that's when we can know that we are actually not obtaining the highest form of love that this life experience has to offer, and we are not actually attaining the highest form of fulfillment that this life experience has to offer. And the big thing to understand that in order to really obtain the truest highest form of love that this life has to offer and fulfillment, we have to find those things within ourselves. And, going back to what we talked about earlier is how the society programs us to see a relationship or, Prince Charming love story, romance stories as the highest fulfillment of love. What they don't really teach us starting off in this world is that it needs to be from within ourselves. Before we can expect anyone else to ever love us, or before we should ever try to love someone else, we need to make sure that we have true love for ourselves, that we are loving ourselves truly, that we are finding true fulfillment within ourselves, and not merely going on living in autopilot based on societal economic pressures to have some type of status or salary or position or title. We should be living life doing what genuinely makes us happy, what genuinely fulfills our heart, what genuinely brings us joy and peace and comfort. And, just being able to sit and relax in the evening and know that, today was a wonderful day and tomorrow it's going to be just as wonderful because I get to wake up and do what makes me happy, do what makes me fulfilled. And that's just, I want to encourage you to, begin to, if you are somebody who is struggling, with being complete on your own, whenever you're single, you feel lonely and miserable. Whenever you're not with somebody who is making you happy, you don't feel like your life experience is worth living. Or, if you every day you wake up to a job that you hate and it makes you miserable, if that's the only means of income that you have, I just want to challenge you to challenge yourself and ask yourself, am I really, experiencing the truest form of love that this life has to offer? Am I really experiencing the truest form of fulfillment that this life has to offer? Do my current relationships really, allow me or empower me to be self-sustaining? Or am I using outside energy to fill voids within myself? All right, people, thank you for watching. I just want to encourage everybody to continue to seek your peace, your joy, your genuine happiness, your genuine calling in life, because that is what will cause us to live a life that is most fulfilling to us and truly worth living. And also, in all things, love is the answer. Peace.